Oh, what a classic. Elton John and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Well, as I said, Kevin Leslie is going to be joining me very, very soon, so don't go anywhere, will you? And he's making me laugh, actually, because he is actually in the studio. And he will be speaking very, very shortly, straight after this next tune by Lionel Richie on Bolton FM. Loving the music. You can speak, it's fine.
Sorry. Making your corpse already. It's only going to go that way.
Say that again, sorry.
I said making your corpse already. I said it's only going to go that way.
The fabulous Lionel Richie, and I have somebody else who's very, very fabulous who's in the studio with me now. Kevin Leslie. Hello.
Hello.
It is very good to see you finally.
I know. We've rearranged a couple of times, but I'm chuffed to be here.
We have indeed. Anyway, before we start talking about the rise of the craze, I have to ask you, how did it all start? How did you get into acting? Where did it start?
Oh wow, very good question. Straight off the bat, very young, and well, not as young as some people. I was kind of 15, 16, and I kind of got involved in school shows. I think it was like year 9, and so started out in musicals such as like West Side Story,
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors, just picking up ensemble roles, and then my passion started to grow, and I started to enjoy it, and I was like, actually, I could do this. So then, I just carried on each year doing a show, and then started studying it properly in sixth form, and then went on to do a 3 years BA Honours acting degree. So.
Excellent.
Yeah, all started from school shows.
And how about after all that? Where did your first role come into? Where did that come into? What was your first role?
My first kind of semi-professional, going on professional, was my graduating show, and I was very fortunate that I picked up the lead role in an adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I got to play the part of Dracula, which at the Lighthouse in Poole, which was kind of the first exposure to the. I think it was something like 1,000-seater or something. Mm-hmm. We only did a couple of shows, but that was the first real moment that I was just like, this is it, this is where we're going, and the first main role. And then after that, my first kind of professional role, weirdly enough, was in Panto.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated in the summer, and then had an audition for the local.
So which Panto?
Dick Whittington.
Okay. Excellent.
And I played Dick Whittington. Mm-hmm. I think it was Winbourne kind of way. It was at the Tivoli Theatre. So did that, and then when that finished January, I decided I need to be in London. So I moved to London in the February, and that's when I was on this road to becoming a professional actor.
A professional
serious actor, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about the thespian side of things? Because that's very serious, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate with some of the talented actors I've worked with. I managed to work with Shakespeare's Globe. I went on tour with them for 4 months, and that was my kind of, first real delve into, solid English literature and good, strong texts, kind of work, like with Shakespeare's work and new writings and classical plays. So, I managed to do that in the summer of 13, and then did a 4-month tour with the English Touring Theatre and the Globe, combined, which was just amazing.
So what was the touring like?
For me, some people enjoy it, some people don't. I loved it because it was my first tour, but I got to go and see towns that didn't really even know existed. You live in a country and you always, whenever you go on holiday, you go abroad, don't you? You think, I'll go here, and actually, England and the UK has so much to offer. So I went to stunning places like Great Malvern, Canterbury, all these kind of towns that Cambridge, are famous for what it's famous for, and that you've never been, you just know the name. And so for me, touring life was great because I got to see all these different towns that I didn't know existed.
Thing is, as well, the UK is beautiful, isn't it? There's some beautiful, beautiful places, and given the opportunity that you've had to travel and see them, we just kind of need the weather, really, don't we?
That's the thing.
And then we can stay in the UK. We don't have to go abroad.
Exactly.
Then.
If we can back it up with a bit of sunshine.
Absolutely. So, bringing you kind of up to date, how did the rise of the craze come about?
Very sudden. It was.
How sudden?
You're talking. I auditioned on a Tuesday afternoon. I was filming Monday morning. So,
wow, that's sudden.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was about a 5-day turnaround, and that's extreme for some situations, because usually actors are kind of like in a film production, you know, a script goes into development, then they get the green light, they get investors, and you kind of get the odd actor maybe attached, but kind of getting actors is the last thing to do. But a week before shooting was kind of, you know, unknown territory.
How did you deal with that?
Probably better than if I'd known, because you didn't have time to think. It was life stopped. That point of, because it was about a 3-hour workshop with my fellow co-star Simon Cotton, who plays Ronnie. We auditioned together, showed that we had this.
So did you know each other before?
No, we literally met outside, and we were like, oh, right, you know, we've got a great opportunity here. Read the script. Script was phenomenal. Managed to get the audition. We went into this kind of boardroom environment, and we were in there about 3 hours. And yeah, we just clicked. You know, we had that chemistry, and I think the producers and stuff could see that we could play brothers and play, you know, convincing brothers. So then they offered it us at the end, so life kind of stopped at that point, and you were
after you'd actually done your audition?
Yeah, because we workshopped a bit, so
right, okay.
we did a scene, and it was okay. It probably wasn't, you know, an audition environment is quite intense, especially that boardroom environment. So it was okay. It was nothing special. Then they saw something, and they decided to work with the director, and another fellow actor worked on it with us for like 10 minutes, and then everybody else came back in the room, like producers and the director himself. And then we did the scene again, and it was electric. It was, you know, it was already 10 times better than what we'd just done 10 minutes prior. And then they got Simon to do another little monologue. I think here, because obviously with Ronnie, he has to show a bit more because of the mental illness and stuff. So I sat back and not really knowing what was going on, just watching Simon, this actor that I just met, who was actually phenomenal, amazing audition. And then when he'd finished the audition, they went, right, we'd like to offer you the parts. And we just kind of went, oh, brilliant.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is just an absolutely amazing story. And now, I mean, as we are now, I know it's like a really good seller. You've got fantastic reviews, and places are selling out.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
It's mental. I mean, it's taken us to that level, next level, you know, and we didn't anticipate this kind of reaction. And because people forget, you know, you're an actor, you got an opportunity, you got offered a role. You don't know the background, you don't know where it's going to go, you're just focused on doing your job, which is, you know, playing this character. So then, you know, we started to find out little things, that it was going to, you know, be going out, maybe have a theatrical release depending on certain stuff, have a red carpet event, go to DVD. You know, I think it's going to end up on places like Netflix when it's done its kind of DVD run.
Yeah.
And then you start to think, wow, actually, you know, we're involved, this is going to be bigger than maybe we first anticipated. But yeah, I can't even, you know, begin to describe then. You know, you've got people, it's weird. It's a weird experience for me, because your name's flying about. Like, people are talking about you and you know nothing about it. And then you just get like the odd tweet and someone says, oh, watched your movie, thought it was great. So in a weird way, you feel a bit exposed, you feel a bit vulnerable. But then... And
how does that feel?
That's I'm adjusting. I'm being completely honest. Yeah, I'm trying to adapt to that, because it's the first time in my career that I've opened myself up to that kind of exposure, and that kind of, and everyone's going to have an opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Absolutely.
Just when they decide to bring their opinion to your doorstep, it's quite difficult that you just have to kind of go, okay, can't say anything, or defend yourself. You know, you have to play safe and just say nothing. But you do see it, you know, so... But it's a learning curve, and we're enjoying the ride of what it's offering so far, so...
Excellent. Well, let's just have a little gap. We'll play a little track. I'm sure you're going to love this one. It's Valerie from Mark Ronson, and we'll be right back with Kevin Leslie on the Sunday Lounge on Bolton FM.
Hi, I'm Ray Quinn.
The legendary Amy Winehouse. And if you've just joined me, you're listening to the Sunday Lounge. I'm Lady Showbiz, and I have the very talented and very lovely Kevin Leslie in the studio even. I'm going to get the giggles, I know I am.
It's too kind, that's
yes,
why.
he's still here, honestly. Anyway, going back to the rise of the craze, can I ask you, how do you kind of, obviously notorious gangsters, with lots of notability and everything, how do you get into such a character like that?
Difficulty. You've just I submerse myself. It's the only way to do it really. In the short space of time, I read The Profession of Violence: Rise and Fall of the Craze by John Pierce, and that became my Bible. There's only so much literature you can read in that short space of time before you have to turn your attention to the script. And for me, it was kind of deciding early on key characteristics of Reggie Cray, the part I play, in counterbalance to Ronnie Cray, because there's not a lot of live footage of them. I could only find about a minute and a half of them actually speaking. So I decided that it wasn't going to be a biopic. It was going to be our interpretation of the Craze. It wasn't going to be, trying to specifically, play Reggie Cray as such. It was more like our interpretation of the Craze. So, because a lot of literature that I have was quite conflicting. Some people would say Reggie was the one you should be most scared of. Others would say Ronnie was the most fearful one. So it was kind of depicting the information and deciding what I felt from what I'd read suited best to the character. So
okay. And have you played any other kind of dark characters like that?
No, I mentioned it before. Dracula was probably the only other character that I've played. I've played up and to date quite a lot of fiancés and boyfriends and romantic leads and love interests. So kind of not to say that they don't have the level, but the kind of dark and the two-tone level to the character. The only other one really was Dracula that I had to play, because he was there was a lot of sexy vampires at the time, so I wanted to make mine, I shaved my head and I made it animalistic. So yeah, for Reggie it was getting to the key core of who the person was. And what I find interesting about a character is not so much perhaps what he said about himself, but what other people said about him, because I think that's, in my opinion, probably more true. Like I could sit here and tell you, I'm the most confident person you'll ever meet, but my best mate will say, oh no, he's really shy. And his is probably true, because I'm probably trying to give you a persona of who I am or what I'd want to be perceived. So So
would you say you are shy?
I would say, yeah, I am at first. If I'm introduced to people, I'm quite good, but
okay.
Yeah, on first thing, I'm a bit like a cat. When they test, because when I go into new environments, I kind of, assess the situation, and then I'll be fine. I have to get comfortable at first.
Okay, so are you comfortable now?
Very comfortable now.
Good, that's all we want now. We want you to be nice and comfortable. Okay, let's have another track and we'll come right back. We've got Kevin Leslie in the studio and he's going nowhere yet. Well, if you've just joined me, you're listening to the Sunday Lounge. I'm Lady Showbiz, and I'm happy to say, I'm very excited to say, I have the very talented Rise of the Craze actor, Kevin Leslie, in the studio. He's still here. He's not gone anywhere.
Going nowhere.
And we're having some giggles, but I can't tell you what we're talking about off air, unfortunately. Anyway, back to the Rise of the Craze. Can I ask you, how did it feel when you had actually done, when you'd gone into character and you've done the movie, how does it feel afterwards to have played such a role? Did it make you question your morals about playing that role? And how did you feel about about Reggie?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question, but and I don't want this to be a cliche or a rubbish answer, but to be completely honest, it's, as an actor, you're in a position to not judge. Because if you judge a part or you judge a character, I don't believe you can portray it, correctly, or because whether you like him or not, if you start judging either way of the seesaw and tipping it, I don't think you're going to play it to its true potential and the truth. So every given moment of what I was doing as Reggie is the kind of decisions I'd made of him as a character is how would he react in that situation. So whether I agreed or disagreed with how they were going about their business, because they were two very violent men, you can't really judge, because then you won't play it for its truth. It's been fascinating to learn, about the Cray twins, and the East End is so rich with culture and history that I didn't know about, and so I've really enjoyed that aspect of learning, about some really famous people that were associated with the Craze that have come out of the East End, and how, like I say, how rich the actual culture is. The interesting thing is I did find it hard to come back to reality and normality as an actor playing a part. So were you
still in character then when you'd go home?
I wouldn't say still in character, 'cause I don't like saying that, but yeah, he did hold something against me. I'm quite a kind of tame, placid person anyway, you know. But yeah, it did make me a bit violent. And what I mean by that is somebody bump you on the tube, and your instinct would be they'd get like the Reggie stare, and it would take you a couple of minutes to go, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not on set, calm down.
Yeah.
Because 6 days a week for 14 hours a day, or however many hours a day it was, you're playing the kingpins of gangster life in the East End, and people treat you that way. So anybody that says that it won't have an influence, I think, will be lying to you. It's going to have some form of influence, but yeah, I mean, I tried to stay away from judging them, you know, as good or bad people. For me, the Krays were a product of their environment. You know, it was post World War II. You know, the East End was quite poverty stricken. A lot of their family, you know, their grandpappy taught them boxing and stuff. So for me, it's like, what would you expect? Where did you expect them to go from there? It's not like they're going to, you know, go out and get themselves a degree or something. For me, they were a product of their environment, and I tried to stay away from judging the circumstances, because there was, you know, you read up on some stuff, and there was some, you know, as Kevin Leslie, morally, I would never get myself involved in, you know. So how, you know,
as you say, though, from your perspective, it's a role to play, isn't it? You know,
this is what I'm saying, yeah.
You know, and I guess I've got to say, I'd look at it that way, to be perfectly fair. Can I ask you as well, because obviously, you know, it's been well noted as well, you got invited to Cannes. How did that go? Oh,
that was amazing. That was really the moment the penny dropped of how big this was going, and how much we'd stepped up from, you know, just kind of these unknown actors to potentially people knowing who you are and spreading your name around. I mean, but amazing experience, you know, phenomenal to go to Cannes anyway, you know, away from the festival. It's a beautiful town in the south of France, but with the festival, and to have a movie out there was just a dream come true. You know, I had BBC Midlands, from where I'm from, the Shropshire area. They flew out especially to follow me around Cannes and do a story on that. So, you know, everything kind of just went amazingly, and I couldn't thank everyone enough for, you know.
So what has been your highlight since doing The Rise of the Krays?
Oh, that's a good question. I think just the amazing people I've met. My highlight would be a big shout out to the East End, because I'm not East End born and bred. I'm an actor that got offered a role, and they've really taken me in as like a surrogate, you know, East End boy now. And there's
can we have a little bit of the East End accent?
Oh no! Now you're testing me. Maybe after the next break, if I can have a practice, because that's long gone. But so yeah, that for me has been. I've met some really amazing people that all had stories to tell about the Krays, and it's been interesting to meet them. You know, I met a lovely lady called Maureen Flanagan, who's wrote a book about her time with the Krays. You know, it was great to have met her and stuff along the way, and, you know, go and visit the Blind Beggar, which was, you know.
Maureen's the lady as well, isn't she, that's come forward and said it's more like the actual Krays and how, you know, how they were, this particular film, than any other?
I believe so. I believe so. I like I said, I try to avoid a lot of reading of stuff because just in case I've been slated too much. But yeah, I believe so.
Well, I've not seen you getting slated, so there you go.
I appreciate that. But I believe so that people are seeing ours as the kind of raw East End version. You know,
I mean, obviously, we all know that the Legend's out with Tom Hardy. What do you think about that? I mean, I've seen the reviews with that and everything, and the fact that obviously he's playing, you know, two twins and everything, all of that kind of thing. For me, I kind of initially, when I knew that The Rise of the Krays were coming out, you know, just before, I thought, oh, is that a good idea or is it not? But I think it's been a fantastic thing to do, really, to have the comparisons and everything. And whoever's going and seeing Legend wants to see Rise of the Krays, and they're just totally two different films, really, as far as I can see anyway.
No, they are, and that's amazing. And you know, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it. People that try and compare them, you know, it's about getting your facts. The Rise of the Krays was actually in development before Legend, as far as I know. It was, you know, it was way back. It was in script development. Because when a studio gets an idea, it's a quick turnaround because they can get the money and they can get it going. You know, Rise of the Krays was trying to get financing and stuff. Tom Hardy, you know, I'm a huge fan, so
me too, I have to say.
But people like want to put these feuds in or kind of compare. You know, I can say it on the record. I'm a huge fan of Tom's, and I can't wait to see his work. And you know, I've seen him in The Take by Martina Coles. That was for me where he came on the map, and I thought his performance in that was just mind blowing. Peaky Blinders, you know, there's some real iconic parts that he's played, and he's great. So I don't see it as that, you know. For me, that's like comparing, I don't want to offend anyone's football club, but like Chelsea to a lower league team. They're completely different.
Okay, so who's the lower league then in this case?
I was going to say, I don't know, Scunthorpe United, but I don't want to
I wasn't meaning that actually. I was meaning Rise of the Craze.
Oh yeah, no, but we are, because you know we are 1/60th of their budget. They're 60 million, we're half a million.
Yeah, but look what you've done with that.
That's what I mean. Unknown actors that we didn't have the resources, you know. Tom would have had access to everybody from the East End who knew the Craze at that time.
Absolutely.
So his pool of information would have been second to none. You know, we kind of relied a lot on Ken and Seb Brown, who were like our encyclopedia, because they really knew the history of the Craze. The budget, the same, you know, money can buy a lot of things. So what we had to focus on was the raw story of the Craze and the brothers' relationship.
The true grit, really, isn't it?
Exactly, because we couldn't have any, you know, fancy big crane shots and all this. We just had to focus on the hard truth of playing the truth of the moments and the scenes. And I think movie 1 is the setup and movie 2 is the payoff. Movie 2 is where, you know, the first one we built them up to where they were just about to reach the top of their game, and then movie 2, Fall of the Craze, is all about their downward spiral and how they end up going to prison.
And when will we be seeing that?
As far as I know, so I don't get shot and tell you official release dates, it's January as far as I know. So only a few more months, which is great because you've kind of got a big thing about the Craze at the moment. Like, ours is out, Legend is now out, Legend will be out on DVD, and then our second movie will be out. So it's the next 6 months is just going to be cray mad, I think.
Excellent.
Cray.
Love it, love it, love it. Shall we have another tune and then come back and carry on chatting? Do you want to give the next link there?
Hi, this is KevinLeslie. You are listening to Lady Showbiz on 96.5 Bolton FM, and the next track is Black or White by Michael Jackson.
Well done.
Tune.
Well, if you've just joined me, you're listening to the Sunday Lounge. I'm Lady Showbiz, as Kevin kindly introduced me, and the song from Michael Jackson. I've got the giggles now because Kevin and his mum, well, his mum in particular, Leslie, who's in the studio with us, she's just realised she's on the webcam. I didn't tell her. She's been dancing along to all the tunes. I think you should give everybody a wave. Come on, Kevin's mum will all give a wave.
Hi.
Anyway, we were talking about, obviously, the rise of the Craze and Legend. Well, you know, in particular, I think you're a legend, so there you go. Not only I do, but Harlan Carter do as well. And they have asked me to give you this.
Oh, this is too kind.
Oh, nice little present.
Look at this.
Presents are good, aren't they?
It's beautiful gold wrapping paper.
It's Harlan Carter, luxury brand.
Harlan Carter,
She's asked me to give them
very
to
kind.
you.
Oh,
24
wow.
carat rose gold plated
Wow.
cufflinks.
Harlan Carter, thank you very much. That is too kind. Look at that, cufflinks.
And
oh, look at that for a bracelet.
how is that? Oh, that is just up your
Perfect.
street,
Did you see?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's like they know me too well.
It's a black agate yoga Buddha inspired bracelet. You'll have to go on the website, harlancarter.com. I love it. How beautiful is that? See, you're in good company
Stunning,
as well.
yeah. Touch. There you go. Harlan Carter, thank you very much. I am humbled.
And last but not least, you've got a little something else under there.
Oh, is it?
Else, yeah.
Oh my.
See?
There's 3. This is.
What can I say?
I'm spoiled. I am spoiled. There's 3.
It's Italian leather money purse.
Oh, money
coin
purse.
purse, actually.
That's phenomenal.
Isn't that cool?
That is amazing.
Just for you.
Hang on.
No coins, actually.
No, it's empty.
I know, I should put one in actually for good luck, shouldn't I?
You know when you get a birthday card, you open it, you go, is it?
I'm going to tell her now.
No, I'm joking.
Josephine, where was the pound coin
no,
in the coin purse?
Thank you
That's
very
it, 7
much.
years bad luck now.
Yeah, Josephine, thank you, and Harlan Carter, thank you very much. Wow.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, stunning. That's amazing.
Absolutely. I can't believe you've got other bracelets. That's really
fits,
just up
doesn't
your...
it? Well, I'm going to tweet a picture of
Okay.
our bracelet. How about that? With
We'll
all
do a
my
joint one.
yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Absolutely. And speaking of luxury brands, you know, since Rise of the Craze, you've been involved with, you've done a commercial, haven't you? And you've done some branding of some suits. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. Harry, a good friend of ours, the director, Harry Revley, came up with an idea and we pitched to Mark Powell, kind of Cray-esque, because Mark Powell is a tailor in Soho. He makes phenomenal suits. Martin Freeman, people like that kind of purchase his suits. I just came up with this idea about doing a really commercialised, you know, visually cinematic commercial for him. He loved the idea. We shot it in a weekend in a dockyard. It's this Chatham Docks. There you go. Memory's good because they film Call the Midwife there. So it's a beautiful location. Anybody that watches that will know. Yeah, and we came up with this 2-minute commercial that's just, you know, stunning to watch.
I've seen it actually. Do you know what? I wanted a full film of that. I've got to be honest. I was gripped.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Where can people find that if they've not seen it? You can go to YouTube. Can't you?
Yeah. If you search, I think it's something like Mark Powell and the Henchman.
Yeah,
I was going to say Huntsman. That'd have been weird. Mark Powell and the Henchman. If you search that, you'll be able to find it. It's really good.
It's definitely well worth a look. Like I said, I could have watched a full feature-length film of that.
Harry's phenomenal.
Really,
and
really
the team
good.
that he had were just great, and everyone was so great to work with. It was smooth, it was slick, and you can see that in the final product. It is.
Absolutely. So will you be doing any more with them, do you think?
I believe so. I believe we're going to keep. I think it's slightly out of my price range at the moment, but I do vow that the day I've got enough money in my back pocket, I will be purchasing a Mark Powell suit. They are.
You mean you've not actually been supplied with one?
No, not as.
Oh my goodness! Shame.
Yeah, I know.
Shame on them.
Mark, if you're listening, you see, you've got to
Absolutely,
give
Mark.
me.
I'm shocked at that one.
You have to give me a suit. But yeah, no. But when I've saved enough, I'm definitely going to purchase because they are beautiful suits. Beautiful.
They are. I have actually seen them, obviously, and seen the commercial. All right, okay, we're going to have another tune now. And we'll say happy birthday as well to Greg Evans, who's 30 today, who's Leslie's son.
Happy birthday,
She doesn't look
Greg.
old enough. Your mum doesn't look old enough at all. But this one is for you. You're listening to the Sunday Lounge on Bolton FM. And I want you to join in with this one.
5 Bolton FM.
Yes, come on, you've got to join in with this one.
You've seen the tweet.
I have. Come on, you can at least do the chorus.
I was going to say that is far too.
Come on. Cry. Love
They
it.
don't cry. My best mate's in the show.
Really?
Yeah, so
Cool.
he'll kill me like, mate, you're off tune. You're off
Love
tune.
it. Come on, you're at least doing the chorus.
Come on. They don't mind. City boy.
Love it.
City boy. City boy.
Oh, she's dancing. At least she's dancing. Love it.
I can tell I like you because I've never done that for anyone. Actually, singing.
That's a first.
Yeah.
Lady Showbiz has got it first. You heard it first on the Sunday Lounge on Bolton FM. Kevin Leslie singing. Ready now? Notice I'm not singing.
Oh, I thought you were like, you ready now? This is
No,
me.
I thought you were gonna do it.
I thought this is your moment.
Definitely not.
City boy. Oh, wrong words. Silly girl. Silly girl. Don't cry. Cry. They don't cry.
I hope everybody's watching on the webcam.
I think everyone's switched off after that now. I'll stick to the acting.
Well, I have to say, that was pretty poor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to
But at least you did try. You did more than me, so...
effort, A for effort.
Absolutely. Absolutely A
C
for effort. As for
don't-
Leslie, she did have a cold and did say that she didn't want to speak. So
Yeah,
sorry
to be
about that,
fair.
but at least you danced anyway.
Yeah. I apologise for that.
No, it's fab. I did actually cheat because I did see a tweet. Not that I've been stalking you, but I did see a tweet where you were singing along to that. And Mum was too. And a big shout out to the nieces
boys.
too, who are gorgeous, and nephews. And obviously, like I said, your brother. He's 30 today.
I know.
30. Oh, I'd like to say it's all good, but it's not. It's all downhill from now.
Don't tell him that.
Anyway, back to you. So what's on the cards now? What are you planning?
A few things in the pipeline in terms of feature films that are around the corner. I know a lot of people do this. I can't actually talk specifics because they're still under negotiation and stuff. But
And yes, people do always say that.
I know it's frustrating.
So I
isn't
can't
it?
get an exclusive.
No,
but I did get you singing live on
you
air.
did. That's more than most people will ever get. Even in terms of these films, they won't get that. But yeah, and for me, it's because I'm on the lookout for that next role to back up the craze, you know, and I've enjoyed everything to do with these, but I don't want to get pigeonholed, so I don't want to play a gangster next. So I'm looking for different, or you know, the polar opposite. So it's just at the moment it's a few things we're talking about, but I'm reading a lot of scripts and just kind of taking my time to, you know, look for that right role that's going to raise my profile even more. So.
And speaking of profiles, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook is probably the only ones I use. I'm trying to be convinced to use others, but I have enough, you know, I have enough time.
I can go with you on that one.
Spent on them, so I don't know how I'll have enough time. But yeah, my Twitter is like at KevinLeslie88. And my Instagram's the same actually, and Facebook is like facebook.com/KevinLeslieActor.
Okay.
So between those three, you'll get hold of me or see what I'm up to.
Excellent.
And see a tweet about our new bracelets.
Oh, absolutely. It's loving this bracelet from Harlem Carter, aren't you?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It is absolutely beautiful.
I'm blown away. I genuinely am. It's a very kind gift, and it just fits perfect with what I've got.
Absolutely. So
Bracelet
next time you're on the
dreams.
red carpet,
It'll be there. It'll be there.
we'll be seeing it, will we?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you as well, with regards to red carpet and functions and things, have you got any of those lined up? Or do you not know? Or are you not allowed to say yet?
Yeah, not that I know of. They're the kind of events that come in, like kind of last minute. If you're available, then you know, why don't you come on down? Or because I've missed a couple of things recently because we've been busy doing our own kind of press and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I'm hoping. I don't know where we are in terms of the schedule, but I'd quite like to get to the Olivier's and the BAFTAs this year, even though they've just been. So hopefully you'll see me walking the red carpet down there.
Excellent. I'm sure I will do.
Yeah.
Absolutely sure I will do. Can I ask you as well, who actually inspires you? Because I should have asked you that earlier, really, because I'm still quite intrigued. Who inspires you as far as acting and directing?
Yeah, in terms of, again, cliche, my family inspire me a lot to kind of do what I'm doing, but in terms of actual role models of who I look up to, my friend will kill me if I don't say Julia Roberts. She's definitely up there.
I love Julia Roberts.
Yeah, she's great. Tom.
But you don't want to wear a dress though, do
No,
you?
no.
Okay.
He's basically joking because I used to, when I filmed with him, I'd be like, he'd make me carry a light, and I'd be like, Julia Roberts wouldn't carry a light. So hence where she comes, because that's our running joke. But yeah, Clive Owen was, in Closer, is phenomenal performance. Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, is stunning. Heath Ledger, really, really actors that delve into their work and play these kind of dark, gritty roles of people that I look up to and aspire to.
Well, I definitely think you'll be on the red carpet. I definitely think you'll be up for nominations very, very shortly, not in the too distant future, and I wish you every success. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Sunday Lounge, Kevin.
Cheers,
and
man.
your mum.
Thank
as
you.
well.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Coming up next, we've got Blondie, and it's Atomic, and it's coming up on the Sunday Lounge on Bolton FM. There you go.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry, I ruined the Big Devil Don't Cry.
Oh, you didn't
You
ruin
didn't ruin it. You stayed quiet, hung me to dry. I'm definitely not getting a West End job calling anytime
Did I
soon.
hang you to dry?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just a...
I've got the earphones on. I couldn't actually